Hello, and welcome to another lawnfawn video. Today we are introducing our new stamp set, Get Well Soon Before and Afters, and its coordinating die. So let's go ahead and check it out. So this set has two cute little turtles. We have our upside down turtle and the right side up turtle. Then we have a little sick whale, and then the happy and healthy whale. We have a little chick with a broken arm, and then the little chick celebrating because his arm's all better. Then we have some fun accessories. So we have a little pill bottle, we have a band-aid, and a bandage as well. We also have a cute little nurse's hat and the little water to come out of the whale's spout. We also have a little cross and a heart for the nurse's hat. And then we have some wonderful sentiments. We have sending hugs, and then we have get well soon or get whale soon. So you can do it either way depending on if you want to use the pun or not. We have feel better, which you can also combine with the soon for feel better soon. And then we have some great sentiments that are a little bit longer. So we have hope you're back on your feet soon, which is perfect for the turtle. When your world feels upside down, I'm here for you, which I think is so sweet. We also have wishing you either a smooth or a fast recovery. We have the ellipsis that you can put at the end of the phrase there to kind of continue it down to the I'm here for you, and of course an exclamation point for the end of the phrases. One of my favorite things about this set is that it has two uses. So it's been sized perfectly to work for the Magic Picture Changer, which is our new interactive die. And we'll make sure to link to the intro video to that below and in the upper right hand corner. But it's also perfect for making non-interactive cards too. So you can use it with your Magic Picture Changer, or you can create kind of normal cards with it. And so we're going to be doing both today in the video. So right now I'm using Copic markers to color in these cute little images, and I love coloring in these turtles, and this fun color combo came from my friend Megan, and you'll see my darkest marker is YG17, but after that I'm going to cycle through all the YG07, 5, 3, 2, and 1, and so I'm going to keep making the colors lighter as I go through the turtle. So the little details on the shell are the darkest, and then the rest of the shell is the medium, and then his body there you can see I brought in the YG01 for the lightest, and so I really love how this turns out and looks, how all of the greens are kind of the same shade, but you have that nice lightness around his face and on his little feet. Now here for the whale, I'm going to be coloring this in some blues here, and then I'm going to use different blues for the healthy whale. That way, if you were doing a Magic Picture Changer, you would have the whale not only change from sick to healthy, but the color on him would change as well, which I think is a really, really cute look. I was only using 2 markers on the whale at first, but I thought he didn't quite have enough definition, so I brought that darkest marker in just for little tiny areas and then blended them out, and you can see how it made his fin pop and the top of his head really pop out. Here for the cute little bird, I'm adding some darker colors on the more sick bird, and then on the more healthy bird, I'm not going to use that Y38. So they're the same colors, but the one that's healthier is just a little bit lighter, which I think is a really cool look. For the sling, I like to use a W1 marker and just line the edges and blend it out with my colorless blender. I do the same thing on the nurse's hat, and that makes that white area just have a little bit of detail, but still keeps it nice, bright, and white. And then now I'm just going to be using some fun different markers there to add some shading to all of those accessories. Here are the coordinating dies, which you can bend apart at the tabs or use your wire snips to separate. I'm going to take that coordinating die and line it right up with the stamped image, and then hold it in place with some low tack tape. Then we can go ahead and run it through the die cut machine, and now we're going to have beautiful die cut images all ready to go to put on a card. And I just can't get over how cute they are. They would definitely make somebody's day when they weren't feeling well. So the cute little accessories work really great on these critters. So you can see you can put the nurse's hat on any of the cool little critters there. And you can also have the little bird hold the pill bottle, which I think is really cute. And then those bandages are really great on the critters too. Now, one of my favorite things about these accessories is they work really well with any of your other stamps. So here I have a cute little bear from Butterfly Kisses who looks super sweet as a nurse. And here I have a card with these cute little dinos on it, and I could put a bandage right on the dino. So you can mix and match those bandages with any of your fun stamp sets. So now I'm going to go ahead and stamp the little cross in the nurse's hat. I'm stamping them out in some guava ink, and then I'm going to add that nurse hat to my right side up turtle, and you're going to see just how adorable that turtle looks with the little hat. It makes me smile every time. I'm also going to go ahead and add the bandage to the upside down turtle, just like that, and you can see just how sweet that looks. Here I have the stitched cloud backdrop, and I'm going to die cut some mermaid cardstock with that. I'm also going to take the stitched hillside backdrop and die cut some spiffy speckles paper with that as well. And I'm also going to be die cutting a stitched rectangle frame out of some guava cardstock, and all of these pieces are going to layer together. But the first thing that I need to go ahead and do is do some stamping. So I'm going to layer my frame on top of my hills there just as a guide as to where I want to place my stamp. And I'm going to stamp out the "Hope You're Back on Your Feet Soon" right along the bottom in some black licorice ink. One of the things that I love about all of our hills is all of the slopes match. So our grassy hillside borders match the slopes on the stitched hillside backdrop. So you see how those perfectly line up there. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut some cilantro cardstock there using those same hillside grassy borders. And then you'll see there now I've got some perfect grass to go behind my hills. But they were a little bit too long, so all I'm going to do is just line that up and then just eyeball it and trim it. So you'll see I'm just going to line that up so that it's going to fit in that little slot there, and just trim off the edge just like that. Then I can go ahead and take that grass and layer it right behind the hill, and I think that's such a cool look and it really adds a lot of detail to the card. I'll use a pencil to mark off where I need to trim at the bottom, and then I can go ahead and just trim that off with scissors and then add some tape to behind the hill there, and that's going to hold that grass perfectly in place as I kind of put it between the two hills. I think it really helps define those two hills from each other too. And then we'll repeat the same process with the other grass. So I'm just going to line that up and kind of eyeball it and trim that off, and then we can add some adhesive to the back of the hill and hold that grass in place. Next, we'll use the glue tube to add some liquid glue all around the outside edges of this, and we can layer on that beautiful guava frame right on top, and I love how it makes those greens pop. Next, I'm going to be creating a standard size card base at 5.5 inches by 4.25 inches. We'll just fold that in half and make sure that's creased really well, and then we can start to layer all of our pieces. So we're going to layer those stitched clouds that we cut earlier, and then I've added a bunch of foam squares behind that whole panel we were working on, and we're going to layer that right on top of the clouds. And I love the dimensions so that it looks like the clouds are in the background because of that foam tape. Then we can add some foam squares on the back of those turtles and layer those right into the scene. And then we're going to be using one of the fancy wavy banners. We're going to die cut that from some white cardstock. And then we're going to stamp the "Feel Better Soon" from the stamp set. So I'm going to take those and kind of line them up right along the curve of that banner, just like that. And once they're all lined up, I can use my block and pick them up and then stamp on it with some black licorice ink. Then we're going to go ahead and fold along the score lines that the die creates for us. So we're going to fold back and then front, and you'll see that's going to create a three-dimensional banner. So we're going to fold back and then towards ourselves, kind of creating a Z-type shape. And I love how that 3D banner looks. It's so cool. To adhere this banner onto the card, I'm going to add some adhesive to the two flagged ends and a little foam square in the center to kind of help keep it popped up. And then I can layer that right onto the card, and I love how it fills up the sky. I think it's so pretty and it adds so much to the card. And now this card is all done. It was super quick and easy to make, and I think it would really make someone smile when they weren't feeling well. So now that we've made a non-interactive card with these cute turtles, we're going to create a magic picture changer card with the turtles. So here is the main pocket piece of the magic picture changer. We're going to lay that onto the cardstock and just use a pencil there to trace inside that square. And that's just going to give us a guide as to where to stamp. So we're going to do that with the larger piece and then also the smaller moving piece. Then we'll use those pencil lines as a guide to stamp our turtles. So in the bigger piece, which is the larger pocket piece, we're going to stamp the upside down turtle. And then in the smaller moving piece, we're going to stamp the right side up turtle. Now that these guys are stamped, we're going to add some color. So we're going to be using Copic markers here to color in both the turtles and also their backgrounds. And this is a really nice way to color this in without having to do any masking, and it looks really, really beautiful. So we'll go ahead and add some color to these turtles, both in the same way, and then we'll start to create a little background for them. So we're going to create a little hill by using our blue marker there to create that hill, and then we're going to fill in all around that turtle, just like that. Once that's all filled in, then we can go ahead and do the same thing on the smaller moving piece. So we're going to create a similar hill and also fill in that sky in the same exact way. Now that both of our skies are filled in, we can go ahead and start to work on the hill that the turtle is going to be standing on. So there we're going to add in some nice kind of orangey browns, and we're going to do the same thing on the upside down turtle, just like that. Now we can use the viewfinder part of the magic picture changer there to perfectly center our turtle right in the middle of that opening. Then we're going to hold that in place with some low tack tape, and we'll do the same thing on the viewfinder on the moving piece. So we're going to center that turtle, hold it in place with some washi tape there, and then we can run that through the die cut machine, and we're going to have both moving parts ready to go to create our interactives element. And if you've never seen the Intro to Magic Picture Changer video, make sure to check it out so that you can see a nice and detailed explanation of how to put one of these together. So now we're going to be working with our larger moving piece, and we're going to fold along the score lines that the die creates for us. So we're going to fold along that one right in the center there, and then we're going to fold along the two skinnier tabs on the top and the bottom using our bone folder to make sure they're nice and creased really, really well. Then we can use the 1/8 inch double-sided tape to add tape on both the inside and the outside of both of those tabs. So it's going to be 4 pieces of tape at the end. So we're adding it to the outside of the tab and the inside of the tab. And then we'll switch over to the one that's on the top there. We'll flip the card over and add some tape to the inside of the tab and then to the outside of the tab. Once we have tape on all of those tabs, we can go ahead and secure those tabs to the inside back of the card. So we're going to peel up that liner paper and then just fold that tab in. And this is going to be creating the track for our Magic Picture Changer smaller piece to move in. A nice trick to do with the Magic Picture Changer is to use a powder tool or even just some baby powder and a paintbrush and run it along the insides of where you added adhesive on those tabs and also on all of those little tabs that are going to be moving. So on both the moving piece and the smaller piece. This is going to help reduce the friction on the paper and help them move really, really well with each other. Next, we're going to insert our moving piece into the tab, and then we're going to weave the 4 tabs on the main piece into the smaller moving piece, just like that. So there's 4 tabs and 4 slots, and we weave them together, and then now you can see that those pieces are going to move. Next, we're going to flip the thing over, and then we're going to make sure that our moving piece is nice and centered between the 2 tabs there, and then we're going to peel up that liner paper, and we're going to close this thing closed like a book, creating this really cool interactive mechanism. So now it's time to decorate. So this is the Spiffy Speckles 6x6 pad, and we're using the Magic Picture Changer add-on to help us decorate. We're going to add adhesive along the short sides of this piece, and then we're going to go corner to corner. And this is to make sure that none of the adhesive gets in the way of the moving parts of this really cool card. So you see where we're going to go corner to corner, and then we've got adhesive on the 2 shorter sides. And then we can take that whole panel and layer it on top, and that's going to help decorate our piece just like that. So next we're going to stamp a sentiment onto this whole interactive piece. And I would recommend stamping this before you decorate it, but because we forgot, we figured, well, let's go ahead and try it. So we're going to stamp right on top, and thank goodness it worked out. And so that's going to say when your world feels upside down. And then now we're going to create a card base here out of some mermaid cardstock, which is going to be super pretty there with that background that we created for the turtle with that beautiful sky. And then we can start to work on the pull tab. So I've die cut the pull piece here. This is the decorative tab that's included with the Magic Picture Changer add-on. We've die cut that out of some guava cardstock, and so we're going to attach that right onto the tab, just like that. And I love this one because it says pull, so it really tells the recipient what they need to do to make this interactive card move. So we're just going to add some liquid glue kind of all around those areas, and then layer that right onto the tab. And then we're going to also add in the little inside part of the P to really define that P and make it look really nice on that cool pull tab. We're going to add some foam tape to the back of the whole mechanism. I like to pop it up on the back of cards because it makes it easier to be able to grab that tab and make the whole thing move. So we're going to layer that right onto the card base and then add some fun decorative elements with some simple puffy cloud dies. So we die cut that from some of the Spiffy Speckles paper, and we're going to stamp out the sending hugs on there, which I think is really, really sweet. And then we can start to layer those different clouds right onto the card. So we're going to layer this one with some foam squares. We'll add the blue one with some foam squares and then a little white one with some liquid glue behind it to add some fun dimension. And then we'll add some cute little hearts cut from guava cardstock all around those clouds, which I think is such a cute finishing touch. And then last but not least, we're going to stamp the rest of the sentiment on the inside. So it says, when your world feels upside down, I'm here for you. So I think it's a really nice way to let someone know that you're thinking of them and that you care for them, and you'll be able to put a little smile on their face too. And then here you can see that magic picture changer change. So you've got the right side up turtle and then the upside down turtle. It's so cute and so sweet. I love it so much. And I love the rest of the sentiment in on the inside. It's just so much fun to make these cards. So next up, we're going to work on another card using the whales. And if you want to see a magic picture changer card made with the whales, we're going to link it right above in the upper right hand corner and the description below. Shari made a really cute one you guys have to check out. So right now we're adding on some distress ink, some tumble glass distress ink onto a stitched rectangle cut from some white cardstock. We've also die cut some spiffy speckles paper and some vellum too, and we're going to be cutting that with some stitched wave borders. So I think it's going to look really cool to have the vellum layered over that really cool pattern paper. Then we're going to use Finley's ABCs and the Spring Fling paper pack, and we're going to die cut the words for whale. And so today we're recreating a really cute card by Elise, and I always love how she takes die cut letters and kind of subs them in for a part of her sentiment. It's such a cool and fun look. So we've die cut each letter 3 times from white and once from the pattern paper. So we're going to layer all of these pieces together to create a really cool dimensional sentiment. So it's going to look really cool, almost like they're letter stickers. So we're going to layer the 3 layers of each letter and then add that pattern paper right on top. But you can see just how cool those letters look with that awesome dimension behind it. We're also going to stamp the get and the soon in some clear embossing ink, add some white embossing powder, and we're going to heat those up, and so that's going to be the rest of the sentiment. And then we'll trim those down with the paper trimmer right around each word so that there's a nice little black border. So here we have a square card base, and we're going to layer that piece that we inked earlier and then our pattern paper piece with the waves. And then we can start to fill in the scene a little bit. So here we have some cute clouds that are from Butterfly Kisses, and I love that they have those adorable little smiley faces on them. And we're going to add those onto the sky there with some foam squares. And then we can layer the whale on too. Now vellum is always a little bit tricky because you have to find a way to hide your adhesive. So in this case, we're going to use our letters to do that. So we're going to start off by taking that vellum piece, layering our letters on, and we're going to add those letters to the vellum first before we add the vellum to the card base. We'll attach each of those on with some liquid glue, and then we can flip that entire vellum piece and we're going to hide our adhesive behind those letters. So we're going to add liquid glue tracing each of those letters, so the E, the L, etc. And then that way we can attach the vellum and no one will ever be able to see where the adhesive was on there. And it's such a cool look to see that whale going behind the vellum, and I love the diffused look that the vellum gives to that pattern paper too. Then we can add our get and soon on with some foam squares, and you can see that now the sentiment is really the star of the show of this card, and I think it's so cute and adorable. So thank you so much to Elise for letting us recreate your cute card for the video today. So next we have some amazing cards by the design team, and this card by Kay, oh my goodness, it's such a stunner. I love her white background and those cool turtles and the way she colored them. It's just so sweet and happy. Here, I love this card by Lizzie and how she created her own custom background using the cool accessory stamps from the set. Here's the card by Elise that inspired us to make our card today. And then this card here by Megan is so cute. I love how she layered her cute little bird onto the magic picture changer. And when you pull that tab, that cute little turtle is going to be right side up, which is just so sweet with that cute little nurse bird. Here's a really sweet card by Audrey, and I love how she used the sign from Open Me to put her sentiment in. I think it looks so cool. Here's that card by Shari that there's a video of that you guys have to check out. The link will be in the description below, and you can see just how cute this is when the little sick whale becomes the healthy whale in the magic picture changer. Here, Elena got super creative and she used the bandage and all the nurse hats and the pills from the Get Well Soon set, but she combined it with the dinosaurs from Let's Roar into a magic picture changer, and it's the cutest, happiest thing. I just love it. And then this card by Megan is so gorgeous. I love how she combined so many different sets and really incorporated the magic picture changer into her scene with some beautiful and gorgeous inking. And then this card here by Lynette is so sweet. I love that cute little whale hanging out in the ocean waves with that beautiful, really rainbow scallops paper in the background. So I cannot wait to see what you guys do with this new stamp set, so make sure to share it with us. Thank you so much for watching today and have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!